to an amazing series of YA novels, an insatiable thirst to relive the glory that is K.A. Applegate's literary masterpiece. This is Fanimorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles.
Animorphs number 10, The Android.
Hello, and welcome to the Dork-Bajir Chronicles, a Fanimorph podcast where we read through the Animorph series one book at a time, then talk about it every week. Today we'll be talking about Animorphs number 10, The Android. My name is Mikael, the host.
I'm Tessa, the expert.
And I'm Brayden, the pre-tampering dog.
Yeah, okay.
Your descriptions get worse every time. We're going to start this episode out a little bit differently. We have a couple hot takes from Fanimorphs listeners.
Yeah. So, to start, I've got a hot take from a close personal friend of mine who has definitely seen my penis at least twice. We'll just call him Dolan.
Dolan?
That's
okay.
his secret name.
Sure.
And he is in a computers course right now at a unnamed university. Redacted. And he has spotted a flaw in our last recording about the Axe book. He believes that centuries is a stretch, but if the alien boy solved a non-complete problem, it would greatly advance the field of computing and algorithm. And he also believes that an alien could probably crack the rudimentary password technology that humans have if they had knowledge of cryptology.
So
the problem I have was less with like
busted wide open. Axe is a secret genius, and Mikael is wrong.
I think the problem there is that like the assumption is that Andalites could always speak English, which is what coding is based on.
Isn't coding numbers?
Coding is
based
on binary, isn't it?
Holy crap! How do I know the most about coding in this small group of people?
I went to theater school. I know about improv, not coding.
The only reason I could think is that maybe because Axe read all those books, like maybe he knows enough about English that he could parse through it.
Well,
but I think at the same time, it's like you kind of need to know the language that it's coded in, even if you know other coding languages, which would make it easier.
Well, I mean, like
deep in the mind space of all these young men and women, right?
And he can talk to them,
Yeah.
which we don't even know if the Andalites have their own language. Spoiler alert from the future book. But like maybe he has some kind of translator or something, or maybe not a translator because he never brings it up, and that would be something he would bring up. But maybe he just knows English already, and like maybe some other aliens spoke English, and so he already knows it.
Say what? Oh, okay, because obviously Earth has been visited before, I guess, yeah.
I think, so I'm willing to accept that maybe he could have, like, solved an incomplete problem, because I do know about that just in general, not specific ones, but I know the idea. But I still have a problem with just, like, because it was, like, mere seconds. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's not even enough time for him to
minutes.
get familiar with, like, fucking Windows.
It was a couple minutes for sure. I think Marco was like fucking around upstairs.
I mean, there's only really one solution now, right? You and Dolan have to meet and fight.
That's what I'm thinking. We gotta get Dolan in on this pod for a special...
I'm not fighting with the comp sci major about comp sci stuff.
Seriously, he should come for book 16 where they find the internet.
The whole internet?
Put him on the list. Oh, also,
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to make like an open call to anyone who wants to be on the show, but definitely shout out if you want to be on the show and we can talk. The best way probably is our Twitter at Dork-Bajir. DM me, whatever it is.
But,
we'll sort it out.
Don't even fucking bother unless your Insta has at least 1,000 followers.
We are trying to get this famous, y'all.
We are already famous.
I'm
we
sorry,
are
we
the
are already
premium
famous.
Animorphs, Fanimorphs podcast out there.
Oh,
And
there's
we
some pretty good ones.
will eat you alive. So, my job as the newbie is obviously to outline everything that happened in this book and then be constantly cut down by Tessa.
Because
like
you say
fucking
it wrong.
wheat.
Ugh.
So, we used my formula again this week, where I discovered that K.A. Applegate has actually created a formula for storytelling called A story and B story.
Amazing.
This is her own invention. But we also open with a goof, which this week has played in brilliantly to the story itself. Because you see, Marco has gotten a haircut. And what I wrote exactly is, Marco got a haircut. He think he mad fuckable. Everybody else think he mad dumpable.
You spelled it faceable, though.
It was autocorrect.
You definitely spelled it faceable. I saw you type into M&M in YouTube earlier today when you meant to type in M&M.
The haircut plays pretty prominently
It's
throughout
like
the
a
entire
recurring
book.
goof. It never goes anywhere,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure it's just because the kid that they had for the cover
Yeah.
wanted to cut his hair.
Yeah. And I'm
Probably.
just thinking, like, what that... I obviously, in the real world, this haircut is just, like, pretty average. But, like, how fucking bad is this haircut in the context of the book? Like, everyone's talking about him like he's got a goddamn head wound. Like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Marco, who axed you in the face?
Like, Rachel literally says you have a Wolverine on your head. Like, a wild animal is there. Like, what?
Which I don't understand how that's an analogy for a haircut.
No,
no
'cause
matter what the haircut
Wolverines
is.
are enormous.
What?
So
No, they're talking about the comic book character.
no,
they're
because
saying
it
he
wasn't
looks like Wolverine.
capitalized.
Yeah, I think she was talking about the.
I think Rachel meant the actual animal.
I'm pretty sure not.
Because
but we'll
K.A.
move on.
Applegate has made several pop culture mistakes in Animorphs already, but
Yeah.
like you think she would capitalize Wolverine if she's talking about the X-Men Wolverine?
No, what? I don't think she would.
Anyway, let's go on with the plot.
All right. So, Marco is classic Marco faction. Busting Jake like a punk over not being cool enough to want to turn into a dog and go to an outdoor concert. The Offspring, to be precise. Because...
Well, there's a bunch of them there, but the Offspring is what gets Jake
Yeah.
to crack.
But he finally convinces Jake because he, and I quote, his exact words are, "Girls love Irish setters." And I swear to God, if we ever get our hands on those first drafts of like K.A. Applegate's masterpiece, the Animorphs books, I know in my heart of hearts we are gonna break open that first copy, and when we look at it, it's not gonna say "Girls love Irish setters." Marco says, "Bitches love Irish setters."
Probably not. It was a woman writing it.
Oh.
Although, you know what? That's not true, because I heard that Michael Grant, her husband, actually maybe not wrote word per word, but like inspired the majority of.
No, they worked
the
on them
Marco
together.
books.
They worked.
So the Marco
they
books
worked on
specifically.
Animorphs, the whole thing. They came up with the idea together, and probably he had a hand in writing Marco.
Well,
I can see Marco.
she
being
said
his favorite
specifically
character.
like that she took inspiration from. I might be wrong about that, but I've definitely heard that inspiration for Marco came from her husband.
Aww.
Cute. Maybe her husband. Ooh, maybe the shade is that her husband got a haircut that she hated. So she put it in a
Nasty.
book.
That's
And
a
changed the
deep,
face of Animorphs
deep
forever.
cut. Yeah.
And that's why they started getting ghostwritten, is because they had this impending divorce.
It's gonna be super awkward number 34 when we unfortunately find out Marco has erectile dysfunction.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
Oh damn!
gonna be
we
so
do
weird.
find
It's
that
like-
out. It's bad. Oh
Fuck, how
god.
does it... It's like, fuck. Marco's like, what, 12? How's he already got Erectile dysfunction. Anyway, at this
Marco wants to
outdoor
take out a
concert-
second mortgage
Yeah.
on his dad's house. Yeah. And she doesn't think it's financially responsible. I mean, yeah, anyways.
Let's get on with the plot. I want to actually talk about the book. Speed through this, Brayden. Come on.
I'm sorry, that was just a good joke, Mikael. So eventually, as the dogs, they see a kid they used to go to school with, who transferred about a year ago, and he's passing out the sharing pamphlets. So they're like, "Oh no, another one got yeerked. How unfortunate! What the fuck?" And they go to him, and he doesn't smell. He doesn't have a scent. They're dogs, and they can smell fucking everything. But they go to this Erek King kid passing out sharing pamphlets, and he has no smell. And they're just like, F to the D? F to my D? We gotta talk about this. We gotta have a meeting and talk about this.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely what
So this is
happens.
where the A story starts. And Marco calls up Jake and is like, "Oh, hello, Tom. I would like to speak to Jake, please a plug." And Tom is like, "Yeah, I'll call Jake. Hey, by the way, you want to go water skiing with some fly honeys, Marco?" And Marco's
Yeah.
what's the game here? Because he knows that Tom is obviously trying to get him to join the sharing, but he's like, Tom's never wanted me to join the sharing. What the fuck's going on here? And he's like, yo, Dad's fly and single, right? He should come on down, get with some of them booties. This is very much me paraphrasing.
Very much so.
Yeah.
There's no such word as biddies in the Animorphs universe.
Exactly.
Google had
and then
been
Marco
invented yet.
realizes, oh shit, they want my dad's brain for his mad computing technology. And but when he finally finds Jake, he has like a bit of an attack. He's like, yo, your fucking yeerked brother is trying to get in my dad's head. And Jake is just like, shut up, Marco. This is for meetings, you idiot.
You're gonna blow
You've
our
also-
cover.
You've jumped pretty hard into the B story. Like,
Yes.
that's pretty much the whole B story right there.
Yeah, the whole B story
Yeah.
is they're trying to get Marco's daddy-o, and so it sort of drives Marco like even harder to be so anti-Yeerk. And it gets into some deep rage issues that
Yeah.
I actually really identified with. I kind of like, I really like Marco now. Like, really like this guy's my spirit animal.
Oh, don't use that. He's your patronus. That's a good word to use.
Patronus.
Hey,
Patronus?
don't patronus me.
Patronus.
Ooh,
I
Patronus.
I said Patronus all the time, and then this fucking really uppity Harry Potter fan corrected me and also said I had to say Accio instead of Asio.
Of course you.
Well, in the movie, they say Patronus and Accio.
yeah.
I always said Asio and Patronus.
I'm gonna
And then
quote my
somebody was like,
favorite
"No, it's
person
Patronus."
at you on that.
What?
Who gives a fuck about Harry Potter fans?
Is your favorite person yourself?
Yourself, yes.
Yep, I know
Very
it.
much.
Nice.
Very much. Who gives a fuck about Harry Potter fans? Brayden Scobie, fresh out of the womb. Those were my first words.
Before the book ever came out.
Oh yeah, no,
Exactly.
he was prophetic. It was real
Yeah.
weird.
He's the chosen one.
I am the boy who lived through an abortion.
Oh, god damn it.
Anyway, yeah,
Fuck.
Marco is super great, and just every book of his, and I'm thinking now, like, this book, and then book 15, and then book 20, like, all of them are just so good. All of them are so good.
It's a good series.
It's a good series, but Marco is just a good character. I love reading his books.
They're
always a joy.
There's this point where Marco is going on about how angry he is, and he's talking about how it doesn't actually make him feel any better to think about, like, killing all these Yeerks and, like, their controllers and, like, saving the world through violence, but he does it anyway,
Yeah.
and how in the end he just feels, like, numb and beaten up.
Isn't it just like all the anger burns through
Yeah.
him, and then he's just left like a fire after it's been extinguished, or it's just all hollowed out and tired and sad.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
That's 12-year-old Brayden right there.
That's like college age Brayden right there.
I mean, that's
Buddy,
like maybe last
don't-
week.
Yeah, pretty much. They called me. People were definitely worried about me being a school shooter in college.
Well, because
That's funny. That's a good funny joke.
he would joke about it himself. It was really bad.
It was a follow-up. Everyone else was like, "Hey, Brayden, nice school shooter chic," and I was like, "Well, if this is the shoe that fits, I'll jump
Well, I
right
mean,
in
then
there."
also out of nothing, you would say things like you'd point to a tree and be like, "Ah, yes, this tree would be perfect to hang myself from."
I never said that.
Yo, that definitely
would be
is
funny,
one
though.
thing that you said, and I was just like, "Oh, maybe I should hang out with this dude just in case he's not joking." And that's why Brayden and I are friends now.
Yeah.
Holy shit, Brayden, your whole life is a lie.
I didn't want
Barely.
him to kill me.
I have never thought of you as a friend, Tessa.
No, well, I'm in your wedding party, so
Yeah,
you gotta think of
true.
me as something.
Yeah, but we don't know if that's a prank yet.
This is true.
We show up at the wedding, and just like, you show up like, "Hey, Brayden, I wore the half cape you told me to," and everyone's just wearing normal suits, and we're just like, "Idiot! Get out of my
You know what would be
wedding!"
even more insulting? Everyone else is wearing full capes.
Oh, no! And I show up with my stupid half a cape, and you're just like, "Peasant,
You look like a fool.
get out. Get out."
All right. So there's this weird boy. They head down to the lake where everyone's having a good time. Kids are making out in the wood. Oh, I skipped a part. Tobias and Marco in Birdmorph, Tobias in Self-Morph, head to check out this kid in his house. But they see him being chased by some thugs, and Erek trips off the curb and gets smacked by a bus. But instead of turning into boy confetti, #callback, #episode 1, he instead, like, turns into, like, a metal thing made of, like, sort of, like, blue steel and white plastics in the shape of a person for just, like, a split second. Only really, like, a person with a bird's eye view could see it. And then, when the bullies are like, "Oh shit, we witnessed a murder! Let's run away!" And they run away, and then Erek just gets up, dusts himself off, again in boy form, and walks away, and they're like, "Yo, this guy's a fucking metal man."
The worst crime in the Animorphs series is that fucking bus driver didn't even stop.
Yeah.
He ran into, like, a
yeah.
thing that dented him, and he didn't even stop.
That and the war crimes.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he's got shit to do, like that bus driver, you know. He's busy.
But, like,
He's got a day. He's
Yeah.
got a day ahead of him. He's like,
yeah, he
boy,
just looks in the rearview
he's
mirror like,
he's
"Nah,
slowed
he's not
down
dead."
a little bit, and he's like, he got up. Apparently he's made of metal and plastic.
he's
Us
fine.
bus drivers
fine
have
with
sharp
this.
eyes, you know?
So they
Let me tell you
figure-
about my grandpa, Robert bus driver.
Robert Boos, he invented the bus. So the whole reason why they go to the lake is they decide, all right, Axe has a theory that bugs, because of their eyes being different, would be able to see through a hologram. He's like, yeah, they're like, Axe, what kind of alien is this? And he's like, I have no fucking idea. Maybe it's like a thing with a hologram around it. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, let's be bugs. And Marco wigs out because he doesn't want to turn into a spider. Spoiler alert, he gets turned into a spider.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's this
Swear on
whole
the
bit
cover.
where they're like, none of them want to become a spider. So Jake grabs 5 straws to draw. And Marco's like, I know how to beat the system. There's 5 straws now. That means there's
Yeah.
only a 1 in 5 chance of grabbing the shortest straw. But if I draw second, third, or fourth, it heightens my chances of drawing the short straw. So I'm going
Wrong.
to go first. And he draws a super start straw. And he's like,
He almost starts to cry because he really doesn't want to be a spider. Because of, the terrifying consequences that came with being an ant or
Yeah.
being a termite.
Also, statistically, that's like not how that works, right? You guys realize that, right?
yeah, duh.
Yeah, okay, good.
Marco's
okay,
a
okay.
baboon. A buffoon.
But he's usually so smart. I'd like that seemed really out of character for him.
Yeah.
Anyways.
So,
Yeah, no, I definitely thought that's how it worked.
oh.
Uh-oh.
I believed him! 1 in 5, and then you reduce 1, and if it hasn't been chosen, it's 1 in 4. It's not the Monty Hall. It is kind of like the Monty Hall problem. But with straws instead.
Well, because statistically, the same thing would happen if everyone picked a straw at the exact same time.
That's the exact same time, but the thing is that they're not. That's what Marco's talking about. Is they're
but
not.
it's like he's saying, like, if he were to pull it doesn't make any sense. You have a 1 in 5 chance no matter when you pull.
No, because if you have if you get rid of them, you get rid of one of the long straws.
I mean, what they're
then there's only
supposed to be
4 of
doing
them.
is drawing them and then comparing them. But like Marco,
What they
draws
always
one
do is they
that's
draw one by
obviously
one.
the short straw.
What they've always done, and they do we talk about how they draw straws a lot? And I've literally never done that in my life to decide
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
It's like, but they go one by one to draw straws
That's
I mean,
fascinating.
instead of doing it
Americans.
all at the same time.
Americans.
Anyway, so Axe and Marco are spiders.
On the way
and-
down, there's a very funny exchange where they're flying and Axe just sort of drops like, "Man, I hate morphing small stuff because all my mass is in Z space."
Oh, yeah.
And Jake and Marco, because Jake is coming along, he's going to be a fly to watch out for them. They're just like, wait, what the fuck?
And he's like, Axe explains, yeah, when you morph into something smaller, all of your like meat and I guess clothing
Organs and stuff, yeah.
turns into just like a lump and goes into zero space. This place, this like empty dimension that like apparently Andalites use to like teleport shit in and out of at will.
It's basically where you go to in hyperdrive. If
Yeah,
you remember
yeah.
in the Axe book,
The spaceships.
this was like
This is where the spaceships drive through.
This was like that blank whiteness
Yeah.
that the spaceship went through before getting to Earth.
And
yeah.
Axe describes how it's super, super rare, of course, but there is like a 1 in a million chance that like a spaceship would hit your biomass and utterly eradicate it. So the others
There's a
are
saying-
just like, yeah.
There's a saying we had in high school English, in advanced English, not to brag, but
Yeah, it's
It
not
was
a
called-
brag, dude. We're all in advanced English.
yeah, but I got a degree in English and did nothing with it, so
What?
fuck you.
Welcome to 4 years of theater and film school.
Hey,
Anyways,
you've never worked at Starbucks. At least I worked at Starbucks. That's doing something with my film degree.
We did a
Also
fringe
chapters.
play that we
Also
wrote
chapters.
and starred in and directed.
Hey, now,
Talk about doing nothing with your degree.
Mikael fucking owns, like, Collective Legacy. So, I mean, that's kind of doing something, because you wrote the summary for the book. That's words.
yeah. Anyways, the saying that we used to use was frying pans of foreshadowing, where an author will like say something that's so blatantly trying to foreshadow something because of how out of place it seems. And as a kid, obviously, I didn't realize the whole hitting matter in zero space was a foreshadow. But now rereading it, even though I can't remember exactly where or when it happens, this is like, it's a ridiculous foreshadow.
It's such a long con, but oh my god, the payoff. I'm so excited.
Anyways, I won't go
Is
into
Marco
it
gonna
anymore.
lose his
Book
dick?
49. Gotta wait.
Is Marco gonna lose his cock? Just like, wait, I see it! Marco's cock! Ramming speed.
He does lose his cock, but it's like way later, and he just rips it off as a gorilla. That's the only reason.
The problem
Just as
is
a
that
gag,
takes
bro.
forever because
Yeah.
this gorilla penis
Dick's
is so
off
small.
for Harambe. Okay, so they
Okay,
get
anyways.
to the camp, they turn into spiders, and Marco tries to kill a cockroach as a wolf spider. Because, like, it's another affectation to him having mad rage problems right now. And he just really just gave in to the hunt and just wanted to kill this beetle for funsies. But then Axe is like, wanting to kill a beetle for funsies is super fucking weird, dude. Can we not right now? And he's like, yes, we cannot. And that's the sound, that's the theme song
Anyway,
of Rage
oh my god,
building in Marco's
every
heart.
time you do the summary, it takes so fucking long. So they go, they find Erek.
They find Erek
They
and
look
he's
at him
an
with their
android. They
spider
look at him
eyes.
with spider eyes, and the hologram is covering like a dog man droid that looks vaguely like a mix between dog and android. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? Oh no, a crow out of nowhere! By mad coincidence, a crow swoops out of the sky and eats Marco. He starts morphing out and he bursts out of this crow's throat, and then falling out of the sky baseball size, lands in a clearing. And Erek comes around the corner, sees Marco demorphing, and he's like, Marco, you must be one of those Andalite bandits that Visor 3 is always talking about. What the fuck happened to your hair? Chapter end.
Yep.
And then somebody calls around the corner, hey, what are you seeing? And then Erek, nothing. Keep going. So Marco's like, okay, so this guy knows about the Visors, he knows about the Yeerks, obviously, but he's not tattling on me. What's going on? Erek says, come to my house, bring your friends, we'll explain there.
And then we smash cut to the orgy scene.
Yeah. So Marco has got his cock out, and he's really like pulling it, and he's thinking like, if I pull any harder, I will rip this cock off. But he's like, kind of like, maybe
That's another bit of blatant foreshadowing for
while
Book 49.
we're here, Axe is using one of his hoof mouths to just like straight give it to Cassie in one hole. I can't remember.
Oh my god, no.
And Jake
no,
is
fucking
taking
no.
the other.
You stop now.
Stop. Can I take over the summary?
You said
this
orgy.
goof went on
I was
too
just
long.
going for.
I should have known better. I should have known you would have jumped for
God
it.
damn. Anyway, okay. They go to Erek's house. They meet his dad, who is obviously also an android. They go into the basement. The entire basement is an elevator. They go down and they see a bunch of these doggy-like androids living in like an underground nature space with real-world dogs. Erek meets them by the lake and is like, yo, what's up, friendos? I am also a Yeerk fighter. My race is called the Chee. We are androids. Our ancient creators, these magic dog folk known as Pemalites, were super peaceful and made us as like play pals and definitely didn't have sex with us. But they got chased off by a race we call like the Ravagers or whatever.
No, they're called Howlers.
Howlers.
They didn't just get chased off. They completely massacred them.
I know, that's what I was working into.
Oh, okay.
Who chased them off and killed them with a bunch of magic diseases.
No, they didn't just kill them with diseases. They ripped them apart. They were tearing them limb from limb and blasting them with their laser guns. And then the Pemalites that escaped, they were like, oh yeah, by the way, we also had viruses. You're all dead and dying.
Brayden, you take way too long on the thing. Oh, they ripped them in half and blew them apart with machine gun fire. And I think there was a giant cannon at one point. And then the germs came into play. It's called streamlining. Anyway.
You do it in the wrong areas.
Erek.
Holy, we should be at the end of the book by now.
Erek calls
Let's go.
attention. Erek says, tells them that the robo-dogs took the Pemalites' DNA and put them into Earth wolves.
Well, dogs.
And that's why dogs are real nice.
Which is like, let's get into that later.
Yes,
because,
exactly. But
yeah.
Erek explains
Feelings.
that even though they're super strong, we see Rachel was hanging out outside and she tries to bust in because her friends were taking too long. And Erek's dad, like, headlocks this bear. We find out that even though these, the Chee, the robots, the androids, are super strong, they can't actually hurt any living creature. They can only restrain them, so they can't fight the war, even though they hate Yeerks themselves. Erek has infiltrated the Yeerks and keeps, like, a Yeerk in his head by, like, he tricked them into thinking he was putting a Yeerk in his ear, but actually he was just, like, capturing it in his own noggin. It's actually pretty sweet. It's a cool little device. And he tells them the Yeerks found an old Pemalite computer. So they find out that they got a Pemalite crystal, which is a supercomputer that could take over all computers on Earth if the Yeerks find out how to use it. It's currently in a room so well secured that nothing bigger than like a small bird could get in, which, as Animorphs, they now can do. Turn into small birds. So Erek recruits them to get this Pemalite crystal so that they can reprogram the Chee to be combat androids. They go to this place, even though a lot of the Chee don't like this idea. They want to be nonviolent. And it becomes regular Animorphs capers from here. They sneak in. There's a rat that wants to eat their spider and fly morphs. They fall down and almost get torched by the air conditioning system or air heating system. And then they get in the room, they turn into bats and like fly through real easy like. And then they realize the bats can't pick up the crystal. It's just not something they can do. Because if they had it in their mouth, they couldn't echolocate. But they can't pick it up with their weak little claws. That's not what they're meant for. Instead, they just decide, grab the crystal, turn into battle morph, run the fuck out. They run out, they like smash a couple doors and walls and shit, and tiger morph, and bear morph, and gorilla morph, and all that. What's Cassie?
Cassie's a wolf.
Cassie wolf morph. And
Lame.
they run into this like firing line of human controllers with machine guns and a single human woman controller dressed like a manager, and then a bunch of Dork-Bajir. And they're like, oh, wait, can't use those guns on us because we got the crystal. What if you destroyed it? You idiots. You'd fucking... Visor 3 would literally never stop shoving his tail up your ass. You would be his new tail sock. And they're like, good point. Dork-Bajir, just go slice them the fuck up. And that's what they try to do. They just get into melee combat, but there's too many. They're getting mad fucked up. But Marco manages to get over to the window, and I assume smash it, and hand off the crystal to Erek, just before he dies. Marco dies, guys. It mentions later, but he doesn't see hell. He does not see the devil himself sitting upon an obelisk throne.
That's because
with its single eye looking down upon him.
Fully die.
That was the Yeerk, though, right?
Oh, did Jake go to hell because he's a piece of shit, but Marco didn't, went somewhere else because he's the perfect cinnamon bun?
No, Jake... Oh, my God. Jake went to hell because of the Yeerk.
Because the Yeerk died and dragged him to hell.
Yeah, okay. I'm trying to tell
but
a
also
joke.
because Mark is a good man. He's a good
Marco,
boy, and he deserves better things.
I'd love to touch your pretty hair, no matter how long or short. Anyway, the next thing we see is Marco waking up, air quotes, and they're like, hey, buddy, your heart stopped, and Erek saved you with an electric jolt. No stop, no pause for sorry you died, man, sorry we couldn't back you up. It's just like, hey, Erek's crying. Hey, Erek, what was that about? It only took me 10 seconds to kill all of them. I don't ever want to kill again. Here's the Pemalite crystal back. Okay, thanks, bye. And they're like, oh, well, what the fuck do we do to this? They give it to some dogs who are like, we are dogs. We have Pemalites in us. And then they just give it to Homer and 2 other dogs, and they run away. And then the crystal is gone when they come back.
They go into the ocean. They go 10 feet into the ocean, and Marco is just assuming that it washes away forever. And I'm like, fucker,
Which is
Homer definitely just swallowed it.
Half an hour later, that crystal is popping up underneath some clam, and some old lady is going to think she found a huge pearl.
Yeah, or just Homer swallowed it, and a Yeerk is going to have to dig through some dog shit.
Because it's only the size of a grape. It's not very big.
Yeah.
And if they could find it on that fucking ship, I bet they could find it on the beach. Just say.
Yeah, let's go to the beach.
Can we also talk about how Marco is getting his mad squats in on the cover of this book?
There had to be some guy in a green morph suit just supporting him because all of his weight is back.
He's sitting on something, I think.
And then it's just green screened out. Also, his feet look enormous.
Yeah,
they do. The perspective is weird.
He's got the pumps.
He's got them.
His hands look
kicks.
really small.
His hands look so small, and because he's wearing a baggy sweatshirt, his bicep is like a big tube of an arm to a tiny hand.
If you squint at his face, he actually kind of looks like an old Hispanic man.
He does kind of the model they got must have a ruddy pizza complexion. There does seem to be some editing going on. I just mean he probably at the time had a problem with acne. I'm sure he's a very fuckable old man with 3 buttons undone and just rivers of gray chest hair coming out.
Put those buttons
just
back.
Yelling at mamacitas from a cafe.
That's inappropriate.
This is another example of also the the caption or like the byline for the book being the worst thing in the world.
Yes.
They're all so bad. Literally all of them are terrible.
Fear has a new name. ... Yeerk. It doesn't. It's like it could be on any of the books.
Yeah, no, all of them are interchangeable except for maybe the 20 to 23 books, 20 to 23, and some of the later ones where they.
I
get
did
real
think
cryptic.
that the title was like actually on point this time.
Yeah, no, it was pretty much exactly there.
It was a you read the front of this and you knew there's going to be an android.
And then you look to the second inside cover and you see
And it's
Erek's
a boy.
legs.
It's a boy with dog legs inside of his human legs. And
But they could have been like, in number 7, they could have been like the other or the Elemist or the God or whatever.
No,
but
the other is actually book 41.
cool.
That's a literal book. It gets really weird.
Cool.
That's why we call you the expert.
Yeah, book 41, maybe book 40. I'm forgetting if it's the B one or the Muskox one.
Anyhow, let's tear into this.
Let's rip it
have
open
a
from the back and
powwow.
keep going in there.
Also, this book has an example of 2 times that Marco, well, he almost died, and then he was the closest to dying when he got eaten by the crow, and then he literally did die when Erek had to restart his heart.
Restart my heart.
And this is a trend for Marco. If Cassie gets captured a lot, Marco almost dies. He was the one who got bitten in half as a dolphin. He got they all got ripped in half as an ant, but we heard it from his perspective, and it fucked him up so hard. Like he didn't want to do a spider because of the ant thing.
Oh,
That's actually a very good point.
Boy, Marco.
So
My beautiful little broken plate.
also, it's kind of fucked that they, with all the violence that they do show in this series and describe, like in this book, in the final battle, Marco gets disemboweled. And he's holding all of his intestines in as he punches through this
nasty.
window.
I hate it.
And
And
like,
then
if you think about the morphs that Marco did in his other book,
He
it was
describes his
ants.
brain shutting down.
It was
Yeah.
ants and lobsters, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was ants and lobsters.
And now he's got spiders and bats. It's like it's visceral as fuck.
This
in
guy
all Marco
And
books.
then-
is essentially a haunted house of Animorphs.
Well, I mean, they all are. But also, my
good
main
analogy.
point, what I was doing was they describe all of this violence. K.A. Applegate and husband Michael Grant, they had no problem describing all of this violence. And then Marco dies, and he wakes up after the most horrific violence in the, like, pretty much the whole series occurs.
Probably.
Where Erek rips apart all of those Dork-Bajir, like 15 Dork-Bajir and 10 human controllers in 10 seconds.
It describes
I
them
actually-
as being it literally happening in 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
What I'm thinking is he literally just, like, all of that, he had to literally run through them. No time for pause.
My guess is that, yeah, he was so
Just
fast, they just...
snout out. Like a spear. A boy
exploded.
spear.
he
See,
was so,
what
or
I'm
he just
picturing...
literally ripped the heads off of all of these people.
That was my...
See, no, that would take way too long. What he did was, God of War style, grabbed 2 Dork-Bajir by the tail in each hand.
dual-wielding Dork-Bajir.
Yes! No, quadruple wielding.
Oh no.
Like
Lord.
General Grievousing, like,
And just slash
4
them apart.
Dork-Bajir,
That makes way more
and then
sense.
using them as, like, nunchucks
Weapons,
and, like,
yeah.
killing everybody else. Anyways,
But I...
It's
keep an eye
brutal,
out for
I
my
guess.
fan art based on that
Like,
description.
Rachel is, like, shaken by it. And that's one thing that Marco is like, oh, I'm surprised that somebody as fucking bitchy and heartless as Rachel would be shaken by this violence. And she's, like, crying because all the rest of them saw it. Marco doesn't have that on his conscience of seeing all of these people completely obliterated and exploded.
I'm guessing... Did you guys ever see Looper?
Yep.
Yeah.
How everybody else just has, like, baby bitch psychic powers, but then this one kid can, like, full on. Like, there's that one guy who shows up and he's like...
This is welcome to our Looper podcast now, where Brayden talks about the plot of Looper.
He's
well,
gonna
I'm
wrap
talking
it up.
about a specific moment in Looper that I think
It's gonna
approaches
come-
this level of gore.
It's gonna come full circle.
Yeah. And literally this kid has just miles above anybody else's psychic powers.
We've all seen Looper. Why are you describing this to us?
For the audience.
Oh my god.
You fucking rube.
This is for you.
And he literally like lifts this guy into the air, and then starting in the middle, just rips his guts out, and just it blooms like a flower.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I saw, just like coming out the other end as he essentially like boy spears all these Dork-Bajir.
This
Like
fight
blood
is,
mist.
This fight is the main reason for Erek, because he was the only one who wanted to rewrite his programming to fight.
And
The
his
other
friends.
ones were like,
Yeah, he
no,
had a
'cause
couple of friends.
He was the main one. There was
He mentions a couple of friends.
he mentions a couple of friends, but he was the main guy. The friends don't show up at all.
Tessa, he had friends.
My point
Karen,
is that this
Omar,
Timothy.
complete
Oh,
destruction.
Rashid. Rashid
turns
was there.
him off of violence because he can never forget it. And he's like, how do you live with yourself after violence?
Oliver was there.
And Marco is just like, well, like
Maria.
scar tissue happens and you forget. Maria actually comes up in a later book.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Oh
much.
yeah, Maria was a real Chee. I forgot.
Maria's a real Chee that shows up in book 27. Like, she's a deal.
But
she's a big deal.
She's the one with a girl name, so she mad fuckable.
Nah, she's still a
She
dog
has
robot.
She de-holograms, and her dog robot body has double Ds.
Has like, but 6 of them. Because she's got dog
Yeah.
titties on her stomach.
6 dub Ds. 12 Ds.
All right.
Isn't that a Yu-Gi-Oh series?
12 Ds?
12 Ds? I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that's actually a Yu-Gi-Oh spin-off.
Oh my god. Okay, Brayden. I need predictions.
Please
Yes.
predict. Let's end this
In the next
episode.
book, The Forgotten, it's like
It's right.
Jake
go-
morphing into a cheetah.
Okay, so Animorphs
It's
number
not,
11.
Also, it's not a cheetah. It's a
The
leopard.
Forgotten. A Leo what?
Oh, a leopard.
leopard.
A
Sorry,
Leo
my bad.
What?
It's a leopard.
Oh, a leopard. Okay.
It's not a leopard. It's a leopard.
And the inside cover is just literally a leopard hanging out in a jungle, so no clues
Dope.
there.
Oh, and the little tagline: "Nothing is what it seems."
And it's called
dot 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 dot. I hate the 4 ellipses.
4
and
dots
it's
is
called
awful.
I hate it.
it is called it's about
Wait.
it's called
Wait. What?
it starts with
Are you gonna? Are you
So
gonna
we-
say it? Can you,
when we
can you
come
say
to
the,
it's
can
called
you
The
please just-
Forgotten. Jake, leader of the Animorphs, about time he maybe I think Jake is a little too confident in where he is right now as an Animorph and like the leader. I think the title The Forgotten is going to refer to some dark secret of possibly the Andalites' past that they find out about. We had some homages to Jake not being okay with how much Axe keeps secret, but we haven't gotten to see his first-person perspective on it. I think we're going to find out another Andalite secret or another just like Space Wars secret about what's actually going on that Jake is again going to have more problems with and going to have to come to terms with, like, do I want to keep doing this when we have other options, when we could just maybe become just like call in some Elamists or just like give up and wait for the Andalites and not fight them.
I will say this is our first Jake book since he went to hell.
Yes.
Do you think we'll hear any commentary on that?
Maybe that's what's forgotten. And he
Hell.
finds something
He forgot
out
about it.
about hell.
Dun, dun.
You know what? I actually forgot about that. Even though I just made a joke about it.
You did.
I did think there had been Jake books since then. Just
No.
in my head I had made the mistake.
There has
Maybe that's what's forgotten. Maybe we find out what hell really is. Maybe it's actually hell. Maybe we actually find out
his last name.
the Andalites.
and
The
then
Andalites are
he
dimension
forgot it.
travelers. The Andalites are dimension travelers. Maybe they were like, "Oh, let's take a quick trip to hell. See what happens."
Maybe.
Okay, that was fun. Now let's go to heaven. Oh, there's no heaven? Fuck.
Maybe.
And that's the secret.
Maybe next week, in our bi-weekly episode of Live from the Gardens, we'll be talking about the details of the Carolina wolf spider and the big free-tailed bat.
Ooh, nasty.
Then-
Wait,
I love
so maybe next week in Life from the Gardens, you won't hear us talk about animal sex.
Maybe instead you'll hear us talking about the intricacies of demonology to prep you for Jake going back to hell.
Jake goes back to hell and gets forgotten.
Maybe after that, the following week, we'll be talking about Animorphs number 11, They're Forgotten. Maybe, until then, my name, maybe, is Mikael, the host.
I'm Tessa, and I'm over this bit.
And I'm Brayden, and maybe I'm tired of your shit, Tessa.
And maybe this has been
You used it right.
Fanimorphs, the Dork, maybe, Bajir, maybe, Chronicles, maybe. Maybe good night. I don't know. Fuck you. I don't know.
Fuck you.
Good night. I don't
maybe
care.
You're listening to this in the morning, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
I still like you.
I don't like any of you.
Tessa
know.
texted me and said, I hate all my listeners. Holy.
No!
If you're looking for more Fanimorphs content, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Just search for Fanimorphs, the Dork-Bajir Chronicles. Brought to you by
Collective Legacy.
a podcast network.